Wow. Guys, there's just so much going on in my head right now. Like, to take in. How are you guys, like, taking to this? There's so much rawness and realness and depth and humor. And now you're going to watch him sing and hear him sing. You're going to be mind blown. I'm telling you. Hello, Elisheva's here. Oh my gosh. Guys, welcome back. We are shimmy schmoozing with the one and only Ellie Schwebel. Was the live recorded Hindi Summit? I hope it was. Cross your fingers. I pressed save the live. So last time I pressed save the live, it didn't go through. So Al tiftach pela satan. Hello, Sir Rifki and Racheli and Yehudis. I just want to tell you that Ellie Schwebel just did a 2-hour live on YouTube. And he is now on with us, going on the second hour. People are saying Ellie has the best voice and songs. Ellie has a voice that's angelic and very unique and very different. Like, it's not your typical, and I think that's why so many people relate to his vocals. But besides his vocals, it's soul, and you're gonna see that right now. Avivinush, welcome back. Hello, Ruchi. All right, let's see all these people. Hold on, Ellie. All right, we are bringing back on to our live, our schmooze, the one and only, ready to rock.
Okay, here it is.
Ellie, tell us just the name of the song, which is, well, I'll tell you. It's
No Delecha. Do you see only half? Do you see only half of me right now?
We see. Go back to where you're gonna be. I think I see your. Just put it a little higher.
This higher?
No. The camera.
Oh, okay.
A little bit.
No, it works. Okay.
So we also want to see you playing the piano. So, oh my God, I gotta get my kids here. My kids are gonna want to see this.
No. Hang on a second. So I gotta put it in. Hang on. I got it. I gotta do it because there's nowhere to put it. Hang on.
All right, you take your time. I have so many things to ask you, but if anyone,
ask questions.
If anybody's watching, I never get time to ask you guys questions. So if you have any questions for Ellie, based on what he was talking about, or anything that you had, ask away. People are loving your studio. People are digging your studio, your hat, your shoes, your glasses. They love it.
Yeah, you gotta. I'm lucky to. I don't know. I guess I'm just I'm blessed to do what I love and to have things that I love in my life. It's a bracha. What can I tell you? Baruch Hashem.
Are you speaking with the Israeli Sephardi accent because of me or because of people watching?
Probably because of you.
Oh, okay. I bring out like the Sephardi side.
Yeah, you're such a warm. You're like you've just got that Sephardi like Varmkeit. Even though, what do you guys call it? I don't know. You don't have to call it because you guys are.
Varmkeit. Yeah, we don't talk about it. It just is. Mm-hmm. By the way, I didn't know that. Hold on, Hager. You're related to the Hagers?
Yes, of course. What do you mean? Darn it.
Guys, I want to tell everybody. I did a bas mitzvah for Malka Hager, who's from LA. I didn't know that Ellie was related to them. I thought you guys are just like best friends. And Ellie,
did you see you saw the what's it called, right?
Yes, that's what I want to say. Ellie is beyond hysterical.
Okay, I think I'm getting you now. Hang on.
Okay.
And there we go. Okay.
You're literally like really funny.
I can't hear you.
Do you hear me now?
Yeah. Okay.
You hear me?
Now I hear you.
Okay. Let's see. Perfect. Wait. Show me how you're gonna sing. I just want to see if we have you. You're gonna be there. Okay, good.
Here. Is this good?
Yes.
Okay, so a little bit about the song. It's called Nodeh Lecha. And I think, Erev Avoker B'Tzarayim, Erev Avoker B'Tzarayim, Moedem Anachnu Lach, Al Chayenu, Al Nishmaseinu, Hashem Elokeinu, Nodeh Lecha. Nodeh Lecha. Why do we say Nodeh?
Could you tell everyone in English? Just there are people that don't speak Hebrew.
Sure.
So translate.
Evening, morning, and afternoon. Modim Anachnu Lach. We thank you. Al Chayenu, for our lives. Al Nishmotenu, for our souls. Hashem Elokeinu, Nodeh Lecha. We will thank you. Nodeh means we will, meaning we will thank you forever. We will always thank you. Yes. So I think that's the true thanks, when you know it's forever. I will forever be thankful. That's what it is.
I love that. And this song was brought about
by my experience of the corona virus and getting out from it. And I can't tell you the messages that I got from people from all over the world. I'm lucky to be that for people. It's like, it's unbelievable feeling. It's just.
Ellie, look what you've done tonight. I know there's no doubt in my mind. The second we finish our live, my DM box is gonna be filled. I know, like, I feel it out already. I've done this long enough to know after which lives I'm gonna get a lot of messages and a lot of stories that are gonna be shared because of your story. I think when people share their stories, it encourages others to share theirs, and it encourages others to be able to go through to grow through it. Like you said, I ain't going through this for nothing. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. And Nodeh Lecha is showing you just that. Right?
Yep. And it's not, gotta say it the right way, Shimi. You gotta say it the right way. I'm just thankful that I'm alive. That's it.
By the way, Ellie, the last Shimi was that I had when we were learning, not an interview. That was the last message that we were working on. You wake up and you say, I'm alive. But don't say it. You got to feel it. You got to mean it. I'm alive. That's not loud enough. Yeah, I'm alive. You got to scream. And if everyone's sleeping, you scream it in your head. You wake everybody up like that. And when you say those words, you really, really mean it. My message to everyone is, don't wait for that moment to go through that hell or that challenge or that hardship, that nisayon. Have to feel just to being alive is like, that's enough to say thank you, God.
That's it. Mamish. Yeah, I think it's and if people think it's simple, it's the hardest thing to be simple.
I love it. Did you
You
hear
can't
that?
to be. It's like the Torah. They said it never wasted a word. The Bible never wasted a word. Didn't waste a word. It's like it has to be. Even in songwriting, to write a simple melody that's unbelievable and beautiful, and simple, very hard to do, because what do you mean anybody can write it? No, but there's something that's specific about the simplicity. Anyway, here's Nodeh.
Whoa! They were watching the live from upstairs. She ran down. She's like, he's singing, he's singing. I'm getting out of bed. Oh my gosh. Atara, was that beautiful?
Yeah, really.
Okay, tell Ellie one thing that you're grateful for, because no delachaz. We're gonna thank you Hashem forever. What is one thing you're gonna thank Hashem forever for?
My mother who inspires people.
I promise you I don't pay to say that. But if they
That's
don't say it, they're grounded.
Amazing. Wow.
Say good night to Ellie.
Bye.
Laila tov. Mwah, Ellie, that was insane.
Thank you.
Wow. I was trying to write, every morning, every night, be grateful. And
I have that on the video. That's the reason I did that. I have it all the English and Hebrew. I have it both,
Thank you, because a lot of times, because I bring Jewish singers, there are people all over the world that watch and they want to listen to Jewish music, and a lot of times there's a transliteral, but there's no translation to the pasuk, or not everyone knows what we're talking about. We have to have an English translation or something that comes with it, like a story.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm working on with my Rebbe in Eretz Yisrael, Rav Daniel Cohen, for Bat Ayin. That's my Rebbe, and he sits there and he sits there and says each word, modeh, ani. What does it mean, ani? What is the? And he sits there and he talks about you have to have I. Lifanecha. Each word has a story. If you really want. And I think it gets lost because we're just running through all this stuff. And for me, to sit down and sing something from the heart.
I wish when I on my lives, the comments they don't upload with it, which is so sad because
You have to watch this, Ellie, and just at least read the comments after this is over, because I want you to recognize the power that you have and that you're using it for the good, because it's amazing the comments that are going on. Like, Ellie's king. Thank you for your passion. Thank you for your realness. You're a walking Kiddush Hashem, Ellie. I mean, if you ever feel down, where it's at, you come back here. Just read all these comments.
Get the love. Get the love. Get the love. Yeah, I work on that.
Okay.
Wow, someone just wrote, "I sound and speak so much like Grandpa Joe." Oliver Sean.
No.
My Papa Wassner.
Oh, Papa Wassner? Wow. And people were writing before that. You're definitely, making them so proud. Like, because you were saying before, yeah, I'm not, dressed like them or whatever. You making them proud, because you're connecting.
He always told me, my grandfather always told me, my grandfather bought me this piano.
Are you serious?
Papa bought it for me. He said, "Ellie, go out and buy yourself a piano." And I said, "Okay." He said, "You need to be doing music." He said, he told me that since I'm a kid, but I was like, my grandfather was such a successful businessman. And my father was also a successful, hardworking businessman, and he did music on the side. So for me, it wasn't an option to spend my time doing music. It was not an option. Right. It wasn't a norm. It was who does that? Who does like nobody?
I was going to ask you, like, did you become Ellie Schwebel, the entertainer, the performer, the connector, because you felt it, or there was somebody like pushing you and motivating you, and you're like, boy, you got some talent. You go out and show the world who you are. Was that Papa?
No, so he was, listen, my family is an extremely musical family. Everybody, my entire family, top to bottom. All my brothers and sisters can sing. Even Zach, who makes fun of him, can he sing? He can sing harmony top to bottom. He can sing, like, all my sisters can sing. Aryeh sings beautifully. Everybody sings. So music wasn't, it's part of life. It's like saying, it's not like you just are.
Schwebel's, it's your genes.
Yeah, it's like yeah, no, it's like you go, it's part of, it's like food, soul food. It's like, it's what it's what we eat. It's what we eat.
Right.
It's what our souls eat for dinner.
Oh my God.
Breakfast.
Speaking about souls eating, holy cow, that was freaky, because that's what I want to talk to you about the next thing. Okay, I'm sorry. I wanted to ask you, on Shabbat, it's your soul is eating. That's how you can eat whatever you want, people. You can eat whatever you want and nothing will, right? Is that true? Nah.
Oh, you're talking about
Shabbos food.
Shabbos. I'll never forget. I was at Bernie Nagelberg's house. I was 7 years old, or 8. Yeah. Bernie and Janet, they made a Boston cream pie for dessert. And I looked at it. I don't know. It must have been 8. And I said, Ellie, you have a neshama yisera. When the neshama yisera leaves, it takes the calories with you. It takes the calories. So
10 years later, you're like, #lies.
Lies, absolute lies. Correct. Yeah. Lies.
So Schwebel, guys, has a song, and I'm bringing this up because a lot of time I get a lot of different questions from people, literally from Guatemala, from Venezuela, from Mexico, from Australia. It's amazing, what this platform has given me, and how I could connect. We could connect to our brothers and sisters all over the world. And many of them, always, but specifically time, I've gotten a lot of, they want to connect back to their roots. They want to be better. They want to do more. And one of the greatest ways for these people is Shabbat. And you did a version of It's Time to Say Good Shabbos. And it's my favorite one out there. I play Erev Shabbat. I blast it in my house. And the lyrics are just amazing, right? And I just want to tell them it's time to say good Shabbos, because all is done. Gonna spend the day together with the Holy One.
I'll give it to you. Once you're there already. Oh God, I gotta do it.
Come on. That was
Okay,
my
okay.
point. I'm like, Ellie, come on, hook me up. Don't make me say it. It's embarrassing.
Okay, okay, okay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
All right,
Here
guys,
we go.
this is a pre-Shabbos song.
All right. Yeah. Sun is going down, shining through the trees. Another week's gone by, become a memory. So throw away your hammer, there's nothing left to do. Go on home and find the gift, it's waiting there for you. Oh, it's time to say the Shabbos, 'cause all your work is done. Gonna spend the day together with the Holy One. Say a special blessing on a cup that's filled with wine. Man and his creator, it's a very special night. You can spend time with your family, you'll study and you'll pray. Why not wait till after Shabbos? Oh, those nails won't go away. So throw away your hammer, there's nothing left to do. Go on home and find the gift, it's waiting there for you. Oh, oh, oh. It's time to say Shabbos, 'cause all your work is done. Gonna spend the day together with the Holy One. Say a special blessing on a cup that's filled with wine. Man and his creator, it's very, 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 very special time.
Yeah! Woo! I did not expect that, and I'm so happy that I brought this up. I'm so happy I brought that up. Wow.
All right. I
That
love
was
that song.
beautiful. That was beautiful. And
I
so
love it.
I'm so happy that you prefaced that. Okay, you gave us that song. This is a warm up to my question. There are people that are trying to keep Shabbat now, a little something, or not the whole Shabbat. They want to know one thing they could do. They don't have shuls, but I want to ask you, somebody who's such a spiritual, connected person, a growing person, to tell somebody, give them a little tip, a little advice about one personal thing that you do for Shabbat to make it holy, so that we could help our brothers and sisters out on their start on this journey.
I think Kiddush is, I think for me, Kiddush, saying Kiddush on Friday night, for me is a big one. For me, Kiddush. But for me, the biggest tip that I figured out was shut your cell phone. That's the number one thing in the world. Shut your cell phone. And, you ready for this?
Shut your cell phone. I didn't hear what you said.
Shut the phone. Shut the
Drop
phone.
the phone. I started this thing on Instagram. It's called drop the phone. Just drop the mic, drop the phone.
Shut the phone. The problem is now, it was the opposite thing. But for me, if you start to read something on Shabbos instead. Take a book. Any book that you like. That for me, it will shift spiritually much more than the other stuff to do. It's like, if you know what it's like putting sugar on top of a cake that has mud. It's mud. It's not, doesn't taste good. You could say Kiddush, it's nice, but if you're gonna go to the phone right after Kiddush, or you're gonna do something you're gonna lose. But if you shut the phone, you may have a spiritual understanding that differs, that would make you want to grow in that way. But if you're busy not keeping Shabbat, doing other stuff, it's going to be very hard to have these traditions mean something because you're not getting at the source of it. So do something like drop the phone, or do something like have dinner with friends and that's it. Or, you know, like you got to do something that's spiritually grounded and everything else. Yeah, you told beautiful kiddush, you know, all the zmiris, everything like that. But Shabbos for me is drop the phone, read the book, talk to the
Drop
people.
on.
Drop the phone. Drop the
Right,
phone.
and interestingly,
Like that.
the one.
Just go like that.
Yeah. I'm like, what just happened? It's like, let me show you what you need to do.
Drop the phone.
You know what? I want to tell you that because I deal with so many teens, it's very sad because I think, you know, even from kids are having a difficult time on Shabbat. With everything else they love, they're spiritually connected in this, but the phone, you know, they're having a difficult time, some teens, and I want to go back to the source so that they don't even, you know, that shouldn't even be a challenge.
Yeah, it comes down to, do they want to be with themselves? Do they like themselves enough to want to be with themselves? That's it. In the end, that's what it's about. If you want to be with yourself or not, if you do have the headspace to be with yourself, with others, but just to be able to enjoy yourself, eating, drinking, reading, hanging out with people, like the Sephardi way, you know, Sephardim don't have this problem. They don't. The Sephardim, they just eat. They have the chacham. They drink. They laugh. They scream. And they won, but they don't have as many because it's a different mentality. It's a different mentality of how to approach life. I think, I don't know what type, but the Ashkenazim, we have an intellectual way of seeing these things that's different. The Sephardim have a much more grounded and rooted in the world, and it's a much more real, authentic way of experiencing the world. And so it's very hard when you're dealing with ideas. Like, 1 second, you're always questioning. What do you mean? What do you mean? Why? Sephardim say, Chacham, I love you, eat, drink. They're not sitting there like this. They're like saying beautiful things. They're like you. You're perfect.
I am a product. I'm a product of that.
You are the perfect.
That mentality.
The Sephardim need to teach the Ashkenazim how to be. Not how to think. How to be. How to be. Don't teach us how to
you know
think.
what? You're saying, like, you have to love yourself in order to be with yourself, like to be okay with that. You had a video on Instagram. I think it was in Yerushalayim, and you told this girl came over. I think she was you're a fan of yours. I don't know. You started singing a song to her, and you wrote, "You're beautiful just the way you are." Do you know what I'm talking about?
Little girl, yeah. She said, "That's my favorite song. Can you sing it after the show?" You didn't sing it. This little girl comes over and she goes,
she said you didn't sing
you didn't sing my favorite song. You didn't sing after the show.
Guys, you have to see this video. I'm gonna post Ali Schwebel's. You know, maybe I'll post that video. It's just like the way she's listening to your words, and it was just. So she asked
every
you.
Word. How do I know this? How are you? I don't know. It was very cute. It was
adorable. You made that girl feel like not $1 million, priceless. It was such a beautiful moment.
It was. I was so touched. I was like, I couldn't believe it. All these people know my music. I didn't know it. Like, you don't understand. I didn't know until this year Sukkot. I promise you this.
Really?
Until this year Sukkot, walking down the street in Israel, and people, Israelis coming over to me, people I don't, Schwebel, like people coming over to me.
Schwebel.
I was hanging out with Ishai Ribo in Israel, and I was hanging around a lot of Israelis. Like, I was at his stage, I was like hanging, and these people, like, I was like, how do you know my music? And these yeshiva kids know all the music, and I'm like, okay. Like, I was like, all right, what am I going to do? I'm going to put out. No, You understand? I don't know. I don't get the
Guys,
feedback
yeah.
because I'm not a
Schwebel's
chassid
my
singer.
name. That's me.
I'm not a
Wait
chassid singer.
online.
No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is, I'm not out there as a chas. I'm out there as an artist. I put music gets out there, but I don't get the feedback because I don't have people calling me and tell, "Hey, great." I have friends. I have people that know me and say I loved it, beautiful. But I didn't know people all over. And then I found
out there.
and I saw
Well,
it, and I was like,
was that like surreal? You're like, oh my gosh.
no, it was like, okay, Ellie, trust yourself. Continue to trust yourself. Go.
No, that was a moment where like I got to do more. If this
That's
is,
it.
you got to do more.
That's it. Yeah, that's what I'm. I made that decision on, like I said, I'm working on the album. I'm working on, but then I get pulled this way with business, and it's very hard. But now I got this thing, and it was clear. I stopped everything. I spent 2 weeks straight developing this song, Noida. It was crazy. 20 musicians, arrangements, sheet music, like talking to all of them, putting it together, putting the videos together.
And also, you did this like in Corona days. That's really challenging to bring that all together. People don't realize how so difficult that is.
It was so crazy. And
wow.
yeah.
You'll never forget it. We'll never forget it. And the way you made this girl feel, and like she felt at the top of the world. I think that your Yaga song is probably one of my favorites. And I want to tell everyone, just in case you don't know, the lyrics are, it's not about what you know, it's about what you do. Do you love what you do? Do you put all you've got into it? Which you do, by the way. So I love it because you're sincere about it. Everybody's got something they love, but they just got to find their way. And tell everyone what Yaga means. What does Yaga mean?
So we say, Yagata umatzata al ta'amin. Yagata matzasi.
Yeah.
If Yagati v'loy matzasi al ta'amin. 1 second. If someone says to you, I tried, right, and I didn't find, you don't believe him. Because you can't, if you tried, you got it. Meaning, if you give it all you got, you'll get it. Give it all you got, and you'll get it. Put everything you have into it, whatever it is, and you'll get something. Whatever that is, it doesn't have to be. For one person, it could be to draw a smiley face. They can't draw straight. They can't. I love drawing smiley faces. I want to enjoy. Draw one smiley face, other smiley face.
I'm so happy that you're saying this, Ali. So many times, girls, even women, adults. I actually read it to Charlie Harari the other when I had my shimmy shoes with him. It was such a powerful message that I got, like, because we were talking about you're living one life. You can make a difference, whichever way it is. That and she was like, I'm not a singer, I'm not a dancer, I'm not an artist, I'm not loud, I'm a mother, yeah, but like I'm getting older, and I feel like I didn't find my it. And you're telling them, even if it means to draw a smiley face and give it to some older person to make them smile.
Yeah, it's the expectations of what you need to be. You know, my Rebbe told me this line, blew my head off. He said, hell is called Sha'ol. You know Sha'ol? Sha'ol Tachtit. Sha'ol. Sha'ol is a Kabbalistic term. Sha'ol.
Oh, okay.
And it comes from the word She'elah.
She'elah.
Okay? And it also comes from the word Lish'ol, to borrow. He said, you want to know what hell is? When you live a borrowed life. You live someone else's life. You don't live your own life. That's hell.
This before.
Neither did I. My Rebbe, Rav Daniel Cohn, what could I tell you? And that's it. He changed my life. I searched for him my whole life. I found someone that speaks my language. You know? Wow,
Ellie, that's mind-blowing, because I always tell, one of my messages that I try to get out there through whatever it is, bas mitzvahs, entertainment, speaking at an organization, like, you got to start living for yourself. Because when you continuously live for other people, you're never going to fulfill your full potential, because you're going to be scared what she says, what he says, what if I'm not enough? And you're constantly thinking about what everyone else, just stop. You have something to give. And when the second you start living for yourself, even more, the second you start living for God, and you stop caring what anyone else thinks, and you're focused on the right thing, you set yourself free. You start living. And what you just told, this is mind blowing. I think this is my favorite line that you told me tonight.
Yeah, that's like one of those. Yeah, it's like the same. It's such a powerful thing. Yeah,
Wow.
it's so powerful.
And also, I just want to go to the chorus, guys. And I Ellie said when he sings this song, oh, like it literally, like the motivational speeches, like on YouTube with the music in the background is like, get up. Oh yeah, come on, let's go.
You've got the power to choose your life. Got a fire running through the night. Once you know what you're living for, you come alive. So you're gonna find out who you really are. Oh, 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 oh. All right.
Wow, drop the mic.
Boom.
I think you just gave a lot of people, people who don't believe in themselves, and like, shouldn't that be the message? Like, you don't need to be famous. You don't need to be,
but that's the part. The problem with that is that we can't say that because we're both famous. Okay, so let me explain something to you. You can't do that.
Someone told that to me. They're like, Shimi, it's very easy for you to say.
You know, I met a Brazilian supermodel in Costa Rica, and I became friends with her. Okay, and she says body image issues. She's a thing because she had to starve as a model. And I said, so she was in this movie for body image, people with body image issues, right? And I said, listen, Nati, listen to me. I know you went through hell, but it's very hard for a girl to look at you and say, you have body image issues. Meaning, to be a leader in that, I don't know if that's the right thing to do. Someone has a platform and say, you don't need a platform. How do you know?
Right.
How do you know? Meaning, how do we know? I think the question is, I think it's different. I think it's more, they have to get within themselves. Maybe they do need this platform and they're scared. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. The sky's the limit. That's the point.
Right.
Maybe they do need to be famous. Maybe not.
But Ellie, you weren't always Ellie, and I wasn't always Shimi. We went through our journey.
We wanted it, but we got there. We're the ones who just happened to get there. Meaning we're the exceptions to the rule, not the rule. Most people don't. So what's the message? What's the message?
Tell us, Ellie.
How can I say a message? You can be. No, the message is, you have something. You're strong. I can't tell you don't need to be famous. I have no idea what you need. You do. You do. Maybe you do need to be. Maybe you have the power to really change the world.
I think more than that is that famous or not, that's not what we need to focus on. I think we need to focus on the fact that there is greatness within us. Not, I have to be great. I have to become great. You are great. You are great. And like Charlie Ryder says, you just got to unlock it. But the greatness is right here. And whatever that greatness means to you, you got to figure it out. That's your journey.
Right. That's right. The message, right. That little thing, they know it within them. I'm not going to define it. You know, we say, you don't need, maybe it's the right, maybe you should be the next, who knows? Maybe, they say in the yeshiva, they say, my son, he should be the next Moshe Rabbeinu. That's what like they wish for their children,
Right, exactly. Okay, hold on. Wait, I want to make sure I cover this. Okay, hold on. I had a bet with your family to see if you're going to say the right answer. What is your favorite food?
Huh?
Your favorite food. I know it's random. It's like, where did this question come from? But before we end off, there was a bet. You're like, oh, shoot. This is a tricky question.
Oh,
went
man.
from like, believe in yourself to what's your favorite
My mother's
food?
gefilte fish. My mother's gefilte fish.
That's crazy. Literally. Mommy's gefilte fish. That's crazy. Okay. That's, you aced. Okay. Now, we know you're not into sports. those who follow you, they know.
I,
I mean,
I love sports.
not like, do you play sports?
I'm a quarterback. I play sports.
Okay. I'm the wrong Ellie. Ellie,
I love sports. Love
what's your favorite? Okay, what's your favorite sport?
football, and I love playing quarterback, and I love dropping a dime 40 yards down the sideline. I love it. I can throw a football, drop it to.
Really?
Yes, I love it. I in camp. I was.
Javi Alter, you're fired. Hold on, wait. What's your favorite?
I don't play so
team?
much. Of course, I don't play. I love sport. I'm saying I love it, but
Do you have a favorite team?
I'm a huge Giants fan, Yankees fan, Rangers fan. I'm more New York Giants. I'm a huge Giants fan.
Thank you for saying Giants, because I was like, I'm ending my live if you say Jets. I'm done. I'm done here.
I'm a huge Giants fan. Huge. Love them. Love, love, love.
Okay, besides for singing and sports, could you give us one more passion that you have and shiny shoes?
I think like I call myself an aesthete, which is like I just love the aesthetics, all of them. I love beauty. I love beauty. I love art. Not as much art. I love to read. I love ideas. I love philosophy.
You could tell that you're a reader, because the way, your delivery, and you speak so eloquently, you could tell.
I read because I needed to.
Mom, see?
I needed to read. I needed to read because I needed to learn. I needed to understand. So I needed to read. But I loved reading since a kid. My mother used to bring home books for all of the kids, 7 kids, and I would read all of them over Shabbos. They would all be done.
Really?
Yeah.
I only got in reading later on, like you said, but for learning purposes. Like only like later in my life, I had a yearning for learning. I wish I had this yearning when I was in Macon. Like I was never in class, and it
when you start to see, listen, I mean, look at the amount of Torah that was written. I mean, just think about that. Think about the amount of little, like, just different ideas around one word, and it's endless. And for me, it's finding that thing that you're curious about. Like, what actually are you curious about? Like, why? Like, what makes you curious? Like, what are you interested in? Even if it's something
the more
weird.
You learn. Yeah, go ahead.
Like, you have people like I love Star Wars. I love talking about Star Wars. I love Joseph Campbell. Like, I love these ideas. And people are like, oh, you're hanging out with nerds. Love it. Why, you love Star Wars? I'm like,
yeah, because
you don't get
clearly
it.
I'm not a nerd because I'm not into Star Wars.
No, what I mean is people say,
I got you.
Like, for me, it's like, I love it. I don't care. You don't like it? Like what you like. You know what I'm saying? I like what I like. You like what you like. That's it. Nothing wrong. You like chicken. I like meat. So.
But Ellie, also, don't you find like the more you learn, the more you find out about Torah, and the more you delve into it, the more you want to know more? It's like so intriguing. It's just, you can't get enough. Right?
It's like yeah. I mean, I think once you find a path of seeing, having a perspective that you're open to engaging with, then learning becomes fun. But if you're trying to find your way, it's not going to be fun yet. It's not going to be fun. It's going to be hard.
Right.
But when you find a path, you're like, okay, you're grounded enough in yourself to be able to hold these conflicting ideas in your head at the same time and weigh them and make a decision about which idea you'd like to go with. Then you have the capacity to learn. Until then, you're going to be, So
yeah.
When you
You'll
find that
over
way,
the place.
when you find that, then learning is amazing.
Yeah. And hold on, I want to ask you one more thing since we are learning about you. Last question, and then I want you to give us some closing thoughts because this was more than I expected, and then some. I can't even thank you enough, and I'll do the thanking after. People want to know because I asked the questions. Is I know you don't sing at weddings, but you do sing on stages and for big crowds. Do you get because you come across as a very confident person? Do you like the jitters and you're like, I'm freaking out here, or you're like, all right, let's do this? Like, which way do you roll?
I'm going to tell you a great story. This is a great story.
Story.
I was backstage with Jonathan Razel. At Hask.
Okay.
Do you know Jonathan? You don't know who Jonathan Razel is? Song of the Year in Israel a couple of years ago. He's a genius. I knew him in when I lived in Israel. I lived in Nachlaot. He was a Nachlaot guy. Anyway, he's a monster musician, just a genius. And it's his first time coming to America. And we're at Hask. I'm doing Hask with the boys. And we're asking this David Geffen Hall, 3,000 people, okay, with 50-piece orchestra and lights, and I'm backstage, and I think I came off her, and Jonathan Razel is sitting there davening, saying like this, and he's bald, and I'm a tall guy, and I take him by his bald head, I kiss him on his bald head, and I said, Jonathan, don't daven here, daven out there.
Wow. Because you know what, I've gone backstage in the house concerts a bunch of times, and they're all learning there. You're so right. Because that just to watch that, right? Is that what you do? Do you put a light on, or how do you roll?
When I'm backstage, I'm usually like getting hyped. I'm getting crazy.
Then
Avram Fried. I was backstage with him. We did jumping jacks together. We did a lot of shit. He gets crazy. Alan, if you want to know how to be a pro, Avram Fried is #1 pro. There's nobody comes close pro-wise and he is so together. He's got his beep together. You know what I'm saying? So
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
so
how
for
we
me
roll.
it's a hype. So hang on a second. The story goes, I was 15 years old in Camp Monk. I was playing the keyboard.
Go Camp Monk, represent. Yeah.
And I learned the song. They want me to play. So I'm playing for the Grand Sing. The entire camp is watching. And I was 15.
Yeah.
And Jonathan is Vihisha Amda Lavotenu. That's Jonathan. He wrote it.
But do you just have an Israeli accent, or do you speak Hebrew? Yeah, אתה מדבר?
לא כל כך טוב. אוקיי, בסדר. נו, weiter.
Weiter, let's go.
So I'm sitting there in camp, and I'm sitting in camp, and they look at me to start the song, and I just look at them, and I start ding ding ding, ding. And the whole camp's sitting there looking at me, and I froze.
Nothing comes out.
Couldn't remember the song.
You're kidding me.
The whole camp's watching me. The entire camp looking at me. And I'm like, I was mortified. It was horrible. It was the worst. And I learned from that, I will never, ever go on stage until I sing the song 101 times. Like, I will not, until I have it in my bones, in my soul, whatever I'm doing, my body knows it, I'm not going on stage. So I better, and I told him, Ellie, you didn't practice enough. You didn't do it, Ellie. You didn't put it in yourself. You didn't put the time in, and you got to put the time in, and you're going to, and get it into your bones. And you did it. You thought you were cocky. And guess what?
It came back to bite you.
Came back to bite you. So yes, right now at this point, I have enough confidence to know that I'm not going to be confident sometimes. That's it. I'm not going to feel confident. I'm going to feel jump. I'm going to look around. But the one thing I learned from someone, I forgot who, was I go on stage, like I'll never forget it. I get on stage and I'm me on a guitar and 3,000 people, 50-piece orchestra.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah, I'm sitting there and a guitar, and I have to sit there and go vrum and start a song. What?
No pressure, Ellie.
No pressure. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I remember I'm on stage. It's out of body experience. And I look around and I just wait and I look at people in their eyes. I look at them and I scan the crowd and I look at them and I make an eye connection with them. I look at them and I don't start right away. And then I start.
Easy. Wow.
That's what I do.
You know what? When I got certified for Zumba to be an instructor, so I was like, so when could I, give over a routine? She's like, when you're sick of it. You're sick of the routine. That's when you know that if you're not sick of it, you're gonna mess up. You're gonna pull a Ellie Schwebel, 15 years old, and Camp Monk. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. But you have to love it enough to become sick of it. You have to you have to be able to, you have to want to become, that's what's great about songs. Every song, first of all, when it's a real song, I play each song like it's the first time for me, because it's every time it's the first time. Because I love it. And the songs I don't get sick of, there's songs I don't get sick of. And those are the songs that stick with me. I love.
Right, like the songs that we sang tonight, for sure. Mm-hmm. So, Ellie Schwebel, it is now our countdown to end this second hour. I can't believe it. Okay, by the way, I have a conference call at like 10:30, but yeah, who cares? I'll be like, it's on me. It's Ellie Schwebel. Sorry about that, folks. Ellie, based on tonight and what we spoke about, this is your moment. Give me a little closing words. The stage is yours.
And who am I speaking to?
You're speaking
to myself?
No, whomever you want, whatever you feel is going to make a difference. But you have over 100 people right now, ranging from. Oh, hold on, Javi Alter is giving me the "I'm mad at you" emoji. Javi, elaborate. I love you. I love your family. Javi, are you upset that we're logging off? But I just want to tell you, Ali, that you have kids watching, you have adults watching, you have people watching from people who are saying Israel and Australia and South Africa. Oh, what a question, London lady 516. She said, what would you tell that 15-year-old boy? And while you think, I just want to tell you, I heard one time, the worst thing that you could do is allow that moment to define you in a negative way. Like, you take that moment and you're like, I'm going to be so much better because of this. Like, and I wouldn't have been so much better if I wouldn't have gone through this moment. So please tell us, because there are boys out there and girls out there that messed up, that had an embarrassing moment, that had a failure. And you know what? They gave up.
Yeah. I think it goes back to the original message, which is thank you. I really do. I think it all comes back to, like, all this stuff will go out the door with thank you. It's hard to say sometimes. I really mean that. Like, 1 second, I keep on saying, it's hard to say thank you. It's not that easy, because people have a lot of stuff going on. But if you fail or whatever you go through, in the end, when I say thank you, I blow away all of the ideas of what I'm supposed to be, what you should. Thank you for being alive. I have a chance to do something. I have a chance to engage in this. I have a chance. So yeah, it's the second chances. That's what thank you brings. There's another chance. It's not over. You're not dead.
As
You're
long
not,
as alive.
you're alive. Oh, 1 second. You're alive. You're alive. Okay. Thank you. So the thank you blows through all of these questions. The, the answer is thank you. That's the answer. Thank you. Not thank you. Deep thank you. I'm not saying it now, thank you the way I should say it because, you know.
We get you. We get you.
No, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
A million
I love
times.
that.
A million times. Thank you. Say it until you hate it.
Say it till you hate, until you're sick of it.
Till you're sick of it.
Ellie, and I'm gonna just top that with cherry on top and say thank you. We're just going back to the original. We started off, we're closing up with this. Toda, shkoyach, whichever way you go. I want to thank you, for being unique, for being like a person who loves everyone for whom they are. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you look like, where you're going, where you're headed. It doesn't matter. You love people, and I see that. And I think the greatest lesson we can learn is your papa did it, your Zaydi, your father, your mother, and it trickles down. So we have to really provide that for our kids. No judgment. We got to love. And if Corona hasn't taught us that, we're in big trouble. And it's people like you, Ali, that come on here and give us that chizuk and give us hope and reminds us that as long as we're alive, we get that second chance. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you, Shimi. Thank you so much for having me on your show. You are like you're a light. You're a light. You're just
the Brooklyn sunshine. We are all the Brooklyn sunshine.
You're a light of a person, and you should continue shining. You're just an amazing light. So continue.
And take that light. And Javi saying, no, Sarah Blopstein is saying you should have a family Zoom now to discuss how it all went down on the shoes. Good night, Ali. Laila Tov.
Good night, Laila Tov.
So much. Be the reason someone smiles.